Has the Ginnivan Schultz trade been a disaster for the Pies? Let's have a chat. So it seems to be the hot topic at the moment. It's been all over the media the last couple of days, and I think it is because we're coming up to the Hawthorn game, which is an elimination game, where obviously Ginnivan's playing for the Hawks. And there's been a lot of talk about, obviously, Lachie Schultz coming to the Pies, Ginnivan going to the Hawks, but Lachie Schultz's price to come to the Pies. Now, last year we gave away our first round draft pick for Lachie Schultz. Everyone at Pieland and everyone and all the supporters and the media at the time said, good deal, because the Pies would finish somewhere in the top four. So you're looking at a pick between, 14 to 18 for a player like Lachie Schultz. Now, we know that Lachie Schultz wanted to come to Victoria. He nominated Collingwood to come to Victoria. And at the same time of Lachie sort of nominating Collingwood and Collingwood saying, yeah, let's sort of facilitate a trade, Ginnivan didn't want... Well, look, it depends. Who do you sort of believe? Did Ginnivan get pushed out? Collingwood said that they didn't want to get rid of him. They wanted him. There was a spot for him. And if he wanted to work hard enough to win that spot back, that could have been his spot. We know he was on the outer a little bit last year, but he's a premiership player. With the acquisition of Bobby Hill last year as well. In 2022, leading to 2023, Ginnivan was a bit up and down, but there was room for him. There was room for improvement. How much do you read into his behaviour sort of stuff, or that he wasn't fit for the culture, and how much do you read into going to the races the day before a grand final? Like, all of these, I guess, come into play. But from Collingwood's perspective, and that's all we can sort of go off, was that they wanted Ginnivan to stay, and they could fit him in with Lachie Schultz. Now, Ginnivan might have said, another forward coming in, I want to go out, and then we have to try and facilitate a trade with Ginnivan and where he sort of wants to go. Grew up a Hawthorn supporter, wanted to go to the Hawks. Hawthorn offered him a 4-year deal or something ridiculous like that, and I don't think we were offering him that sort of stability. Now, I think out of all of this, and we'll talk a little bit more about Lachie Schultz, his trade and stuff. Out of all this, like with Collingwood, the Ginnivan trade was the one that sort of irked me a little bit, because we know what a talent he can be. He was 21 or 22 at the time. So Ginnivan was traded to Hawthorn. So Collingwood received pick 33 plus Hawthorn's 2024 second round and third round draft picks, while we gave Ginnivan, obviously, pick 39 and our second and fourth round draft picks. Now, as that sort of stands, because Collingwood and Hawthorn are right above each other, like 12th and 13th, the second and fourth round draft picks are just moving up pretty much just one space. So, it's a little bit different if we were sitting second and our second round draft picks are moving up a further, 10 or something places, but that's just not the case at the moment. So I think out of all of this, the thing that we will regret the most is giving Ginnivan away for practically nothing. And I know sometimes that happens in trade periods where you have to sort of give up a player for practically nothing. But I think Hawthorn really pulled a number on us to get Ginnivan that cheap. And at the end of the day, you kind of look at that and you go, oh, maybe it's because they did end up wanting to get rid of Ginnivan, and that's the only way that they could get rid of him, by going for pick, 33. I think, I'll probably get heat for this, but I think Ginnivan's a top 25 pick, even a top 20 pick, or at least 2 first round draft picks, like a pick in the 25 to 30, and then that 33 or something like that. But sounds like we probably wanted to get rid of him, so that's why we gave him away for that. So I think out of all of this, that's what we'll come to regret the most. Now, the Lachie Sullivan trade, like I just said, at the moment, 6 months on, and like Kane Corn said yesterday, we gave pick 7 away for Lachie Sullivan. Now, in hindsight, that's ridiculous. You don't give a first round draft pick, a top 10 draft pick, for a small forward who's just an upgrade on someone that you already had. Now, that's ridiculous. Is Lachie Sullivan worth a top 10 draft pick? No, of course not. Do Collingwood, and mainly other clubs, but mainly Collingwood, do they have to overpay for players who want to come to them? Of course, because it's the Collingwood tax. We know this. Dan McStay, we have to pay a little bit more to get him over. All these other sort of players. It's the classic Collingwood tax. Now, if the Sullivan, I was going to say. If the Schultz, Sullivan, because it's like Schultz and Ginnivan, I think. If the Schultz first round draft pick stayed at that, if we were top four and that stayed at 16, 17, that's a win. That's a win. But at the moment, it's not looking like that. I think if we even make it into the top 8, I think that pick becomes pick 10, doesn't it? So you're giving away a first round draft pick, like a top 10 draft pick for Lockie Schultz. And I think, you know, that hurts. That really, really hurts, especially now that it's pick 7 and we don't have any sort of young kids coming through. That really is a punch to the face in that aspect, though. Well, the next sort of thing that you can do, the next sort of look that you can do is stats-wise. Now, we know Schultz and Ginnivan play similar roles. Ginnivan has kind of went a bit of a high half forward into the middle. I don't watch a lot of Hawthorn games, but that's when I've seen it. That's where he's sort of playing, and then he drops deep for a couple of goals and stuff like that. But let's look at the stats because the stats obviously don't lie. Disposals, Ginnivan is winning in disposals. Marks inside 50, that's Schultz by a little bit. Goals, 1.3 goals average to Ginnivan's 1.1, so Schultz is winning there. Score assists, Ginnivan's 1.1, Schultz is 0.5, so that sort of tells me that Ginnivan is playing that sort of higher half forward and he's putting the goals, the balls into the forward line. Score involvements, 4.8 to Schultz, Ginnivan 5.5. Now, these two are the biggest ones for me. Tackles and pressure acts. Averaging tackles, Schultz is averaging nearly 4 tackles on average per game. Ginnivan's averaging 2.5. And pressure acts, Schultz is averaging 18. Ginnivan is averaging 15 a game. Now, we knew getting Schultz in wasn't going to be super like for Ginnivan. Ginnivan can kick 40 goals in a season. I don't think Schultz has kicked over 30 or 33 goals in a season or something like that. But that's not what we got Schultz in for. Our game is based on pressure, tackling, pressure acts, tackles inside the forward 50. And that's exactly what Schultz gives us. And that's exactly what Ginnivan wasn't giving us. Now, look, tackles inside forward 50. Schultz has got averages about 2, which is elite for a small forward. And Ginnivan's averaging 1. And we talked about pressure acts as well. So, to me, I think the acquisition of Schultz, I love Schultz, and he works his ass off. If anyone works their ass off more in this team, tell me who it is, because I think Schultz is one of the players in our team, probably top 3, that just works every single time he's on the field. And yes, it's nice when he scores 3 or 4 goals or kicks a goal, but his presence on the field and what he does for us isn't measurable. And I know in a day and age where everything is stats this and stats that, and he's elite in this, and Ginnivan's averaging 0.26 more goals than him here, and I get that, I understand that, but sometimes things are immeasurable, and Lockie Schultz's presence on the field is immeasurable. Perceived pressure, just like Bo McCreary does, just like what Tom Mitchell sort of does when he's in and under, to help us out with stuff that isn't statted. And it's hard when you think of comparing players with stuff or with stats that aren't statted. It's all sort of mumbo jumbo, and you can just pull it from anywhere. So I understand that. But me personally, I think Lockie Schultz has brought more to the team than what Ginnivan had to us. And I know that Ginnivan is kicking goals, but how many times have we said last year that Ginnivan doesn't work hard enough, or he has to work on his craft more, he has to tackle more, where's his defensive side? We've said that, and we're getting that with Lockie Schultz. We're just not getting the goals. But the thing is, we're getting the goals from other players, and yes, we're bloody 12th at the moment, and that's a whole. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I personally believe Schultz has been an amazing acquisition, and yes, you can believe that Schultz has been an amazing acquisition, but you can also believe that giving up pick 7 as it stands is absolutely shithouse, because it is shithouse giving away pick 7, a top 10 pick for Lockie Schultz. I completely understand that. Again, it's the Collingwood tax, and again, we were tipped to be 12th right now. We were tipped to be top 2. Do you understand that? We were tipped to go back to back, not be top 2, not be in an elimination final against Hawthorn on Saturday afternoon. So that makes sense. If we were giving away picks 17, 18, 17, 16, that makes sense. as it stands, we're giving away pick 7 for it. And yes, it sucks. But no pundit had us where we are right now. No one had us where we are right now to sort of say, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't do that. Because we weren't supposed to be here. Injuries and come what may. And this is where we are. And at the moment, we're talking about Lockie Schultz and Jack Ginnivan and how we gave away pick 7 at the moment for Lockie Schultz. And yes, it's shit. But I think the worst part about this is Ginnivan is going to be a fantastic player for the Hawks for so many years to come and fantastic player for the AFL. We gave him away for peanuts. And I think that's something that we will regret more than giving away pick 7 for Lockie Schultz. Because Ginnivan we know at first hand what a fire starter he can be. And we just gave him away for peanuts because we wanted to get rid of him or whatever sort of thing you're hearing. But look, in conclusion, I think Lockie Schultz has been amazing. I love Lockie Schultz, one of my favourite players at the moment. Just what he does, what he brings to the table. Pick 7 is a bit overkill, but that's classic. We're going to see that more. Now we don't have a draft. I think the biggest thing is that we don't have a first-round draft pick, not even to draft, just to trade if we had to, because we know that Graham Wright and Jeff Brown, all these guys are saying, we want to top up, we don't really want to go to the draft. And Lockie Schultz was the top up. Unfortunately, the top up is pick 7 at the moment. But 6 weeks, and we'll see if this works out or not. But let me know your thoughts down below. Would you have kept Ginnivan? Would you have still traded for Lockie Schultz? What would you have given pick 7? Tell me all your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shaggers. I'll swoop you later.